That's it, just stand there, don't move. That's lovely. This art, it's a lot of pretentious waffle, to be quite honest with you. Ha. Roll titles. Hello. The World Cup is getting in everywhere, and because of the World Cup, we're a little tight for time tonight, but we speeded everything up, and we're going to talk a lot more quickly, and of course George Melly is one of my guests on the show tonight. A little later on behind me here, Ruby Blue are playing live. I don't know that I can carry on doing that all the time, but tonight, why shouldn't we be interested in art? You and me, the viewers of the Wales show, I think we should, and we're going to explore what art is tonight. And if you have any views, you can call us, talk to George, talk to some of my other guests later on. The number coming up, where is the number? Do you see that's rather artistic? Do you like that? Number please, thank you, 0532 46 1000 is on the screen. It's all going terribly well so far, George, isn't it?
Well, only because you've been talking the
entire time. Of course, George, of course. And fax, what about faxing as a piece of art? And you could be an instant critic. If anybody's near a fax machine, fax us something. There we are, 0532 421 830. Swimmingly well. This is a very nice suit, George.
It's not mine, really. It was made for Phil Cool to imitate me in.
Did you ever see him do it?
Yes, I did, and I bought it from him later.
Is there this? I mean, you're a surrealist, aren't you? Really, that's the way you.
Well, I've always been very interested in and subscribed to surrealism. Yes.
I mean, there's people are looking now. Saying, "What's he doing? Art?" Maybe we'll get some. Hello. Maybe we'll get some models on later. You know, art, and people always see that's an excuse to have.
Well, those are people who are not really interested in art. Think the whole thing is to do with seeing a lot of pussy, don't they?
Do they?
Oh, well, you obviously.
No, I don't. I want, with your help, you see, George, to explore what it actually is.
Help?
Yes, with your help, George. With your help. I've seen you on that gallery program with that lady with the bow tie.
Yes, dear Maggie.
Yes. I mean, and people do talk, and perhaps frightens other people off from
do they?
I think perhaps sometimes you see these programs, and people who haven't a real interest in art, perhaps they're a little frightened.
Terrified, frightened?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the viewing figures for Channel 4 at that time in the afternoon are remarkably good.
No, I don't mean that. I mean that art generally frightens people off.
Does it?
Do you think?
No.
No?
No. They may be unaware that art is much more than just pictures in galleries. That you, for instance, are a work of art.
Do you think I am, George?
Well, you're making some sort of statement, aren't you?
I am, aren't I, really?
With your earring and your bow tie and your handkerchief.
I'm a sort of
and
a
the way you have your hair cut.
Yes.
Yes, you're a total work of art.
Yes. Do you know, I'm warming to you, George. I think that we're going to get on famously. Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes. I mean, some people, I put this down here a little earlier on. This is just an ordinary glass. Can you see this?
Yes.
With a cigarette butt, rather strategically placed in the bottom.
Isn't it a cigar butt?
Sorry, a cigar, yes. I'm sorry, George. Yes, a cigar butt.
I mean, you must be accurate in describing unpleasant objects of that sort.
But I mean, somebody could actually do that and get away with calling it a piece of art, but they would have to have a reputation, or?
No, they'd have to have a mental attitude, actually. There's no reason why somebody couldn't do that and justify it as art, but they'd need a lot of elaborate machinery around it. What you've done is simply to put a cigar end in a glass, isn't it? Am I building a picture? You have made a statement.
Yes.
Because why you've done it is to take the piss out of art, which is, in a way, an artistic statement or a statement about art. Yeah. Is that very pretentious? No, it isn't. It's perfectly true.
You think it's, yes. Tracy Norris, who's on Anglia Television, and Anglia TV have just joined us, so have you got any friends in Anglia? In the Norwich area? Yes, in that area.
Oh, many.
Oh, good. Say hello to them.
Hello.
Oh, that's good. That's
Where
nice.
are you? I can't see you.
No, but they're there. It's aesthetically, we hope.
What does she want to say?
There. Well, she's the announcer. She just brought us into it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
How nice. What, from East Anglia?
Yes.
White man's magic, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to show you now, George, this, okay if I go to this piece at the ICA now? Okay, this is a little, it's a little informative, and I want you to bear with this. Now, I want you to tell me what you think of this afterwards. Have a little look at this.
All right.
What is art? Well, I'm here just outside the ICA gallery in the Mall in London. And art is all things to all people. This particular piece by well-known Polish sculptor, it's not named, but I think you will agree that it sums up the whole feeling. this particular still life here from a Roman artist who has encapsulated, I think, what you feel when on a foreign holiday. And I think the aesthetic beauty and quality of this piece is something that will be with us for a long time to come. Here, as you can see, a still life, a meal that was a particularly nice piece, and a piece that has been acclaimed by many at the Royal Academy. We're going to go inside now, the ICA gallery, and find out if there is anybody who can truly tell us what is art. Yes, well, Ivona, this is an egg. What does this represent?
What does it signify?
It's a talking egg.
Yes, it's talking because there are hundreds of faces all over it, and most of them you can see their mouths. It's, if you like, a piece of concrete poetry, and it's by a Czechoslovakian artist called Yuri Kolář. And Kolář lived in Czechoslovakia really through the Stalin regime there, and was very heavily censored. He was, amongst other things, he was a butcher, a concrete mixer, a fruit picker, and a poet.
No wonder he was heavily censored.
And throughout his, I think, 27 different jobs, he just picked up a fascination with language, but he couldn't ever really use it because of the repressive regime in Czechoslovakia.
So this whole exhibition that we're in at the moment is work that's using other pieces of art put together as a collage, is that right?
Yeah.
To express his thoughts.
Well, what he decided to do was, because he couldn't write freely, he decided to dispense with words and use images instead.
Now this looks like he's got all his old gas bills and stuff, and an old piece of newspaper, and he's put them all together. And
Yep. Well, I think this is a piece of modern archaeology, if you like. That's his...
poll tax form.
Yeah, poll tax form. You know, a bit of a menu here, something, a nice piece of image that he liked up there. This is some sort of form, probably telling him not to do something. And this whole series of works is actually a diary. So these are all the bits of paper that make up his life, all the bits of bureaucracy that make up his life. And he's decided to make them into a work of art, a collage.
Could I buy that?
No, because it's actually owned by the Kunsthalle in Nuremberg.
Oh, right.
So it's
I just wondered if
museums.
I could. Should we move through here? You're getting the idea now, though, aren't you? Excuse me. Come on, come with us. Now, not a lot of you watching will think these are just funnels stuck on top of each other. But you see, I can see closer than you can, and they've got writing all on them again.
Yep.
So presumably the writing signifies something.
I should say so, yes.
Yeah.
The first one is Islamic. It's covered in clippings out of an Islamic newspaper.
Yeah.
Then I think we've got some Czechoslovakian. Then we've got some Peruvian, could it be? Then there's
You know all these languages?
Chinese, fluently, of course.
Yes.
Then there's French, Hungarian, Chinese, Arabic, and German.
Now, what's the significance of the way they're all tilted?
Well, I should think it's partly caused by the way that the funnels fit together, but it's called Tower of Babel, and I think it's about trying to make, evoke the sound of thousands of different voices, of different people talking simultaneously. I think also he's what you might call a Dadaist. He was certainly very interested in surrealism, and I think he liked the idea of finding banal household objects and transforming them into sculpture, into works of art.
I like the door.
It's very grand.
It's a nice door. It's a nice door. Now, this here is sort of strikingly pink and colourful. I mean, it is something that you could put on a wall as opposed to some of the other things I've seen and say, this is very nice. This is, but it's bound to have some sort of message, isn't it? Is that necessary in art?
I think you can read it in lots of different ways. I think if you look at it, it actually looks like a paragraph. And what he wanted to do was he wanted to see what it would be like to make a poem by someone who couldn't read or write.
He's called it Untitled, I noticed, so he
Yes.
didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be long before we found somebody with no clothes on. It's slightly different. She's got a road sign stuck on her tummy button.
This is, again, going back to an archetypal myth, Leda and the Swan. And clearly, you know, there's a very sort of...
Nothing to do with bestiality.
I wouldn't say so. In the myth, it's certainly a very erotic tale.
I know.
And he's done something really iconoclastic by sticking a road sign on top of her, and
But
also mimicking her.
He didn't paint this,
physical
though. He took
structure.
this existing painting.
That's right, yeah.
And all he has actually done is put the road sign on it. That's his...
Yeah.
Is he stuck for any kind of copyright or not?
Well, I think he's, by copyright law, I think if you change it enough, then you've made it into something else. And I think he has made this into another image altogether. He's changed the meaning of it, or the original intent.
You know, the more I think about it, I'm in danger of becoming an educationist, what with our trip around the sewage works last week and this week at the ICA Gallery. But the last piece, George, I mean, the naked lady, which was somebody else's picture, and he just stuck a... I mean, that can't really be art, can it?
Well, it's, in my view, very derivative. What happened was, in about 1916 or so, Marcel Duchamp, who's a true original, took the Mona Lisa and added a little moustache and a beard,
Haven't we
and
all?
wrote under that, exactly, and wrote underneath the word look, spelled L-H-O-O-Q, which pronounced in French comes out as L-H-O-O-Q, which means she has a hot arse or tail.
She has a hot ass.
Now, the idea of doing that in 1913 was truly original, because it questioned our solemnness towards the work of art. It was a humorous idea.
You see, that's the thing. I'm even myself here talking in fairly hushed tones.
Well, you should do that. What I did notice you did, though, in front of some works of art which seemed to me valid and some which appeared to me ridiculous, was you tried to take the audience into your confidence by mugging at them, which is really very patronizing
I shouldn't do
to
that.
an audience. I don't think so.
Right, okay, I'll bear that in
because
mind.
it just makes you look silly rather than the things you're looking at.
Yeah. So I'll try to... I mean, I don't know that I'm doing it, you see, so I'll just have to be very
careful. You go all the time.
I'll have to try one of those.
More or less. I mean, I think
I see what you mean, yes.
some of the things you're looking at were totally useless. Some of them are quite interesting. None of them are tremendously original.
Do people who are into art get upset if people who clearly are not particularly interested start taking the piss out of it, do you think?
No, because they're affected, of course, if people who do know about art take the piss. But people who don't know about art, I mean, if you knew everything about, say, motor cars or cricket, and somebody who knew nothing about either, when you were saying this is a marvellous engine this motor car has, or that was a beautiful stroke, and they started going like this at the audience, you just think, what an idiot, they don't know about cricket or motor cars.
We take a break.
That's my impression when you pull those faces, really.
I said we'd take a break. George and I'll carry on talking, we'll take a break.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean... You know, how these people can charge millions for their paintings. This one I'm giving away tonight, but I think when I do a few more, I shall actually be looking for something like about, I don't know, a couple of thousand for that. Right, part one of our competition this week is, it looks good from where you are, doesn't it? Probably looks very good. This week is, what does the word NICAM stand for? You see it often in TV Times and on the beginning of programmes broadcast in NICAM stereo. But what does the word NICAM mean? That's part one of the competition. I think, you know, I have found a new talent that I was pretty sure that I had, but it's pretty nice. The thing is that we're going to ask you a couple more questions during the programme. The prize, I'm not going to tell you until next week, but the prize is, we're coming up to the end of this series of shows, is going to be something pretty sensational, all right? I apologise to Tony Blackburn for nicking one of his lines. Would you think you couldn't see that? You did say you couldn't see it too well, George.
Not clearly enough to judge it, no.
No. Well, Neil Simone, who's with us now, Neil is an artist and is well known for rather strange works. Well, let's just show one of your pictures so everybody can see exactly the sort of thing you do. There, goldfish? No, it'll come out. Can you talk me through this, Neil? Tell me about this picture.
Well, it's called Worlds Apart. It's really about people who feel uncomfortable in a strange environment, who feel worlds apart.
Yeah.
And like a fish out of water, if you like.
I see. I mean, that picture is very precisely painted, isn't it? It must have taken you hours to do that.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah?
Well, the point is, if you don't have the realism, then you're not fooled into believing you're seeing something that's possible, if you like.
Mm.
If it was painted impressionistically, let's say, you wouldn't be fooled into believing it was an actual image that you could actually see.
Yeah.
You'd be seeing a painting.
But don't people just buy pictures, paintings, or any sort of art because they just like them and they look nice and they've got a place on the wall and they stick them there? Isn't that the main reason to have it?
Something to do with it, yes. I wouldn't know whether it was the main thing. Some people like to be able to relate to the picture rather than just have it as a decor picture.
I mean, do you want people to buy, because your stuff is quite expensive now. I mean, it's quite a thing to have one of your works of art, isn't it? And they're going up in value. Do you want people to buy them as an investment?
No, I don't think that's the reason I paint them, if that's what you were on about. Not really. No, I mean, the price dictates, I suppose, with the demand for the work. Price, really, for anything, is because of the value of it, is because of the demand on it.
Yeah.
Nothing else, really.
Yeah. Well, here's another one here. Well, this is a landscape, is it? No.
Yes, yes.
Oh, it is. Through the window.
It's called View Throughout.
You know what? I mean, don't take me the wrong way. It just occurs to me looking at that. That would make a great advertisement for replacement windows.
Oh, right. We'll see if you can
You
get
know,
any
sort
offers,
of,
yeah.
yeah, that sort of company. Is this the sort of thing you like, George? You into this sort of art, or is this not your?
I'm quite sympathetic towards this sort of art, which expresses a poetic idea realistically, and which is therefore rather convincing for the viewer. I mean, the artist I'm most passionately admire is Magritte, and in a sense, this relates at a distance from Magritte, does it not?
You see, these all look very sort of, I mean, almost like photographs. I mean, there's obviously a great skill in painting something that's...
That's just the language of painting, isn't it? Whether it looks like a photograph or whether it doesn't look like anything at all. Just as when some people can't express themselves coherently, it doesn't mean their feelings aren't as strong. I don't think it matters. The test I apply to a picture, which was proposed by someone a long time ago, was that I really like a picture if it gives me the sensation of a cold wind brushing the forehead, you know, a little shiver of pleasure. I think that what seems to worry me, most people about art, I mean, worries you about art.
Nothing worries me about art, George, but go on.
Well, not particularly worries, but what nags at you is you can't see what it's for.
No, I see what it's for. It's for sticking... I'm not making a face. It's for sticking... I just look that way normally. It's for sticking something on a wall or for beautifying where you are, your environment or something like that.
Or making you feel more intensely about reality, as such as it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a picture's a sort of window, you know. You look through it.
Well, talking about expressing yourself, let's take a few calls and see where we're over here, number 3. Hamish from Scotland.
Hi there.
Who guess? Hamish.
Yeah, I'm a haggis.
You're a haggis.
Yes, I paint landscapes.
Fine, thank you. Jason from Basingstoke. I have some intelligent, artistic callers on the programme.
All right, James.
Yeah.
All right. I think these artist people are a little bit mixed up. They seem a little bit mad, sort of thing.
You think artists are... I mean, how can anybody suggest that any... I mean, look at... Do I look mad?
You're an
like this?
ugly bastard, James.
Do you think so? Thank you very much indeed. I see, I didn't have control of the phones then.
Did you not?
No, I didn't. I did not have control of the phones. Oh. Slap you. Slap you. Michelle from Sheffield, it looks like.
Hello, James.
Michelle, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
What I wanted to know was really what George and Neil have got to say about when the Tate Gallery bought 94 house bricks or whatever it was.
Oh, that was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
arranged in what was supposed to be an artistic sculpture. How you can justify that as art when anybody can do that? A bricklayer can arrange 94 bricks.
Well, George thought that question, I think, would come up somewhere. I mean, that's like me putting that cigar butt into a glass. I thought that was worth a few bob, but...
I knew it was going to be the bricks.
You knew it was going to be the bricks?
I knew it was going to be
You knew it was going to be the bricks. Well, OK, George. I mean, how can somebody pay money for that, though?
Of course, they were very cheap, the bricks.
The bricks were cheap, yes.
Cheaper than getting someone to put up a wall,
Yeah.
comparatively. For me, the bricks were not a great deal. Andre, wasn't it, the manager? They weren't a great big deal because they were repetition. They were repeating what I said earlier. Duchamp's idea of adding a moustache and a beard on the Mona Lisa. What's wrong with a lot of modern art is not that it isn't valid, but that it's imitative. They just take what other people have done and do it again. You're pulling faces.
No, I'm sorry. I was on then.
saw
You know,
you.
I didn't mean to do that. It was just a slip. I'm sorry about that.
What do you mean by phone control, by the way? I was
Phone
very
control?
fascinated by that.
Michelle?
Yeah.
That's phone control. Nigel from Derbyshire. Hello, Nigel.
James. you're talking about the fairly high prices paid for paintings. So just interested in the fact that so much money is paid for paintings, so much poverty in the world.
Yeah.
How do you react to that? So when 24 million is paid for paintings, there's so much regression and poverty in the world.
I know.
How do you
Well, I
react to that
couldn't
sort of
work
price
out why.
paid?
I couldn't work out why the government are going to give the film industry 5 million quid. They should be making the money for themselves. I thought.
That's right, but when
Well, there's
people
one
paint,
here of 48 million pounds was paid for a Renoir recently. For I don't know if you can see that little. You obviously know about that. I mean, how does art get to that kind of price? 48
Because it
million.
stops being art. It becomes property, it becomes prestige, it becomes investment. I'm as against it, I suspect, as the young gentleman talking to you there. I think there's something perfectly disgusting about a work of art reaching that value, and even more disgusting is that most of the people that buy it then put it in a bank vault.
That's right.
in
But
the
if
hope
you
of
could
selling
do
it for more later
something-
on.
If you could do something and sell it for that, you would, wouldn't you? I mean, you
I'd
wouldn't
be very
turn your
unlikely
nose
to be
up
able
at
to
it.
do anything and sell it for that, because that you need to be dead for quite a long time to reach those prices. And I'm happy to say that I'm still at least on the
Yeah,
surface.
no,
of
you're still
life.
buzzing, George. You're still buzzing.
But,
let me change the subject for one moment. We'll
all
come back
right.
and talk to some more calls in a few minutes because the World Cup presses, of course,
Yes,
and
of course,
not an
yeah.
awful lot of time. So let us go on a little clip now from something called Project 90, which is Jerry Anderson's new thing. We're going to have a chat to Jerry Anderson in a few minutes. You see that? Some people would consider perhaps that this is art as well. And I'm going to roll it. Okay.
Calling international rescue. Calling international rescue. Calling international rescue. Calling international rescue.
Thunderbirds are go, go. 2, 1.
Right, well, lovely to see you, and I always fancied being brains in, it was Thunderbirds, wasn't it?
Thunderbirds, yeah.
Jerry, nice to see you on the programme, Jerry, and this is your new, I can't keep talking
You're
in this
doing
voice,
very well, I
but
must say.
this is your new project. A lot of people have said that you're making me make those faces, and I don't want to do it, but it's the strings. The project, for goodness sake, will you move them away? I'm moving, you pillock, okay? The puppets that you had are works of art in themselves. In fact, they must have taken a lot of time to make.
Well, they certainly took a lot of time to make. I must say, it never occurred to me that
You didn't think
would
they
be
were works of
thought
art?
of. No,
No?
no,
Do you still have most of them?
no. I have one.
Yeah.
I have Parker from Thunderbirds,
Oh, I like him.
and that's about the only one.
Cut my strings.
In fact, it's the only thing I have got from the old days.
Yeah.
But
The criticisms I've read of the new project is that they don't have any strings. I keep seeing that in the papers from people saying, oh, but where are the strings? We liked the strings. I didn't like the strings.
well, I didn't like the strings. As a matter of fact, when we made Thunderbirds, I tried to persuade the IBA to scan the pictures vertically instead of horizontally, so we could get rid of the wires. I mean, we did everything to, get rid of them. And I hear people saying today that they like the strings. I can't understand it.
I think yes, I don't know. They're very, very strange. But this is a new film that hasn't actually come to fruition yet. This is just an idea that you're playing around with. You've got all the characters and all the...
No, in fact, it's a new record, a dance record.
But it's going to be a new movie.
No, no, no.
Oh, you're not...
It's simply a dance record, which
Yeah.
is based on the music from the various shows that I made. And today, as you know, you have to make a video for the dance record. And I had made a pilot film called Space Police. And we used that pilot film to make this video.
So can you see that turning into a feature-length film or not?
It won't turn into a feature, no. It'll hopefully turn into a television series later this year.
Do you enjoy that sort of thing, George? Do you like that?
I beg your pardon?
Did you like that kind of stuff, George?
Yes, I did.
Yeah?
I liked it very much. And what you were sort of playing with, the idea that is it art, isn't it art, it can well be art.
Of course it can. Yeah.
Of course it is. It's to do with the imagination. It's to do with the realizing the imagination in some form of concrete activity. And I don't think it's probably the highest art, but it's art, certainly. And it's probably better art than a lot of art that calls itself art.
Highest art. We'll discuss highest art a little bit later on. Right. We're going to take a break. Before we do that, let me just remind you that after the break, the second question in the competition for this fantastic prize. Now, hello, welcome back. Most people would use blue for the sky, but this is an abstract whale, and it's going to be worth a lot of money, so we're not using blue, we're using a mixture of yucky colours, like most abstract artists do, actually, when you think about it. In fact, I'll blend the head of the rider in there, and I'll come round and I'll do it again, because this signifies... I'm going on too much, aren't I? Now, talking about blue, we've actually got... What are you nodding for? Talking about blue, we've got... Who is it? Ruby Blue! That's right, Ruby Blue singing live in a couple of moments. And the second part of the competition question is, who on the James Whale Show turned the air blue? What rock singer turned the air blue? All right? Take it away, Ruby, baby. This is brilliant. With me is Alan Purgasey. Is that right? That's right. Because I wanted to call him Purgatory, but I'm not. Alan is, I suppose, a struggling artist.
Not too struggling.
You've got out of the garret.
Yeah.
Well, if we look into this particular picture here, which is very nice, it's a collage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the title of this one?
It's called Couple, and it's...
Couple?
Yeah, Couple. And
I see. What's it based on?
It's two bodies entwined in a...
Is it?
Quite a sensual way, yeah. They're quite close together, so...
They're close together couples?
Yeah, a bit difficult to pick out. You can probably see there's the hair of...
Oh, this is hair of one head here?
Yeah, and the backside of another going over the top there.
God, that's difficult, yes. I mean, some people, Alan, have said that your work is slightly pornographic. Is that fair?
Not really, because I think pornography goes out to turn people on, whereas this was something I do quite a lot and get a lot out of, so I produce...
What, you actually do this sort of coupling? Oh, you produce these sort of pictures quite often?
And I do the coupling as well, yeah.
As well, good. Yeah. Well, Alan, it's nice now that artists do that sort of thing, because sometimes...
As well as normal human beings.
Yeah. Is this a sort of position you found yourself in, or not?
Not literally, no, but I thought painting the figure like that, rolling in the grass, sort of expressed a sense of freedom and just joy, really, with rolling naked in the grass in the open air.
Now, Alan, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What do you actually call this one?
This one's called Naked Lovers.
Naked Lovers?
Yeah. In fact, it's just a detail from a pair of naked lovers. So.
It is?
Yeah.
It's got a lot of double-sided sticky tape. Yeah, it's the sort of thing they might do on Blue Peter, is it?
I don't think so. Probably a bit later in the evening. But
yeah. Is this real hair?
Yeah, that's real hair, but that's taken from my head.
It's taken from your head?
But made to look like pubic hair.
Is it?
Yeah.
I see, yes, pubic hair, yes.
So there's a clue there to what
there is. So this is the genital areas are here and here.
This one's a female, this one's male.
Is it?
I did them because they were aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to stir someone up, there's a lot more explicit material you could put up on the wall, I'm sure.
461000. He's waiting for your call now.
I see. Right. Well, Ruby Blue, by the way, Primitive Man was the song they sang before, which we thought was... You enjoy that? You enjoy that? Yeah. It's out on Monday. It's a new single on Monday. Yeah. I like that. It's nice. Now, was that pornography or was it art? That's a question a lot of people... That's a bit of a pretentious question, really.
I don't think it's pornography because, as he said, I don't think those pictures that actually turn people on. I mean, in the obvious sense, somebody once said pornographic literature were books to be read with one hand. I don't think that would apply.
I was going to ask you to explain, George, but I realised, I just realised.
Yes.
Okay,
but they were erotic. They were to do with the pleasure people have in the screwing and so on, which is perfectly reasonable. I thought it was rather ridiculous of the young man to cut his hair off to make pubic hair. It'd be almost like cutting your pubic hair off and sticking it on somebody's head, yours, for instance, yes.
George, you've been having a go at me ever since you got here, George. I'm getting bloody fed up with it now, George, you know. Been really nice to you so far, George.
Nice
respect for an older man who's got, you know.
No, but I think that they were well-painted pictures. He's a serious young man.
You don't think he was taking the piss out of the people who were looking at them?
No, not at all.
Because sometimes I feel looking at some paintings that the artist is
I don't
obviously
think he was
having
at
a laugh.
all. I think he genuinely likes physical contact with a member of the opposite sex.
Which you're all
He
in
likes-
favour of, yes, yes.
And he likes to celebrate that by making images. That's what I felt about those pictures. I don't know if anybody else would agree with me.
Well, yes, if that's the only way he could actually portray his sexual emotions.
I'm sure it
that's fair
wasn't,
enough.
no, Neil. I'm sure it wasn't. Didn't you enjoy those, Jim? I mean, one looking at your pictures, Neil, might wonder what sort of strange sexual life you have. I mean, we're going to get onto that.
Well, yes, you can wonder what you
Yeah.
like, really.
You didn't, that sort of thing didn't appeal to you?
No,
No.
no. I
mean, no, I just detect a very disapproving air there, Neil, and I wondered why one artist would be as disapproving to another.
Well, I don't know whether disapproval, really. It's just a lack of appreciation, possibly, from one artist to another, really. I mean,
Jerry, what about you and I, as people with a lack of hair, probably found that last one offensive?
I'm sure that he used my hair on that. I recognised it immediately. It came on. No, I wouldn't kind of criticise it, but for me, it just meant nothing. I didn't particularly like them.
Okay, we're going to take some more calls in a few moments, but first, the break. Okay, well, art lovers, you got the first two questions of the competition, and the final question should be absolutely mind-blowing. Name the picture. All right? Name the picture. When you've got all three, put them down on a postcard or the back of a sealed envelope and send them to this address. Here we are. Competition time. That's an original little title for this part of the programme. Yorkshire Television, the Television Centre, Leeds, LS31JS. Now, Cess, do you want me to tell them what the prize is yet or not? Or are we going to keep that? We're going to keep that guessing. Okay. All I can tell you is we've been saving up part of the budget from each programme over the last 89 programmes to get this prize. It's going to be a goodie. So you've got to have the answer to all three of those questions. You've got 2 weeks to get it in. Because no, next week. You've got to get it in by next week. That's right. So send it to us as soon as you can. It's wonderful, this, isn't it? Exciting. You're getting very excited. Yeah, yeah. Julian.
Hello?
Hello, Julian, where were you?
Hello, James. Letchworth, Hertfordshire.
Ah, right. Oh, I see Ruby are going. Bye. They're just,
Bye,
they're just going out there. You see them out the window? Julian, what can I do for you? Yes.
What we'd like to know is, James, there's three of us here. We're all art students in Letchworth.
Yeah.
And we're a bit concerned, as in your modern art, why is it that it seems to be so sort of priced out of the market of your general man in the street, you know? I mean, like, the stuff that you see, we cannot afford to buy it.
I mean, if you're an art student, you do your own stuff anyway, don't you?
Yeah, I know, but I mean, we like to purchase pieces of art between the three of us.
Yeah, but I mean, most art's not expensive, is it, George?
Yeah,
well, it depends what you want, you see. I mean, people don't think anything in spending a lot of money on buying a motor car. If you suggest they bought a work of art of the same value, they'd find it extraordinary to think anyone could spend that amount on a picture.
It's a bit difficult going to work.
You know, or they buy a refrigerator, deep freeze, washing machine. They can buy a work of art for that sort of money now, but they don't because they think it's appalling when pictures should cost £4 each.
Julian?
Yeah?
I mean, I wasn't going to bring this up until a little later, but I finished my picture, as you saw on there, Julian.
Okay.
Which I'm calling Horseman in Torment. Can you?
Very good, James, very good.
Can you see? No, I mean, I'm quite serious about this.
I can see it, I can see it.
You can see the horse, you can see the torment and the rider there. I mean, it is.
You know, the thing is that because you painted it very light-heartedly,
Very.
It's rather better than a lot of paintings.
It's a lot of stuff than we'll be paying
In its
for.
way, it's not bad because you were not in control. I mean, you were just...
I'd be very interested if that was put on...
You're never in control.
I'm never in control. I'm never in control.
I think
how much would this be,
Okay,
James?
Julian, thanks a lot.
Yeah, James?
Yeah?
Yeah, could I just say hello to Catherine and Magda, please?
No. How much? Sorry, Neil asked a very important question there that you all missed. Neil said...
What would you actually ask for that, James?
I think a couple of thousand, really.
Why?
I mean, I think because it's something that has come out of myself. I gave a lot of myself to that, and I think it's worth a couple of thousand
Well,
pounds.
what it lacks, of course, is only underlying scaffolding, isn't it?
Yeah, well, no,
You've done it before. Haven't trained in any way.
I did art CSE.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
You'd never have guessed it, but it's not altogether bad, I think. I certainly wouldn't give a couple of thousand for it.
Well, no.
Well, I'd
Andrew
certainly buy
from
a pint
London.
for it.
Oh, George, I'm warming again to you, George. I'm warming again to you, George, as well. Andrew from London. Yes, Andrew.
Hello, good morning, James.
Good morning, Andrew.
Hello, I was wondering, do you think that the work of contemporary abstract artists can be considered to have as much artistic merit and make as much of a statement as the work of the greats such as Van Gogh, Rembrandt and others of that calibre?
Neil?
No.
George?
No, actually.
Jerry?
No.
No, Andrew, thank you. Perry from Hertfordshire.
James?
Yeah.
I'd like to make a bid for your painting.
Yeah?
I've got 50p on me, is that all right?
Thank you very much. Don't call us again. Steve from Peterborough. Hello, Steve.
Hello, James.
Yeah.
Well, I'm into all the heavy metal music and stuff like that.
Yeah. Ah, well, in that case, next week's programme, we're featuring Dogs d'Amour. Live here, Dogs d'Amour.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be much of the place left afterwards, but next week you'll enjoy it.
But me mum says that...
Thank you. Okay, we don't want to talk about your mum. She's not there. Joanna from... I want to get on and talk to Joanna. Joanna from Dartmoor.
Hello, James.
Hello, Joanna.
I think art is anything you really want it to be, as long as it shows your inner feelings and the way you see the outer world itself.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, George, do you think... yes.
I didn't hear what she said.
No, nor did I, but...
She must have been escaping at the time.
No. Joanna thought that art, as long as it showed your inner feelings, was that was it, really, Joanna, wasn't it?
More or less, yes.
Yeah, you know, as long as it expressed what you felt inside, which,
Well,
of course,
yes,
that
but
does...
of course, what you feel inside can be very negligible, can't it?
Right. I mean, art is a manifestation of an idea.
Yeah.
And an idea is
Yeah.
a concept conceived in the mind. I mean,
Yeah.
it depends on the quality of the idea and the concept.
Yeah, but basically, Joanna, don't you feel... I mean, I don't want to upset you, George, but I mean, there does seem a lot of pretension in art. That if Joanna wanted to do something,
pretension in everything.
Sure,
Pretension in politics.
Yeah,
And if I may say so, there's a lot of pretension in television.
Oh, it's
but
all
there
pretension.
is also stuff that is not pretentious, that is worthwhile looking at. It takes a certain amount of looking, I think.
Mm. You're warming to this, George. As you look at it, you're thinking, I might use this on gallery on my programme as a sort of, aren't you?
No.
Oh, right.
The same answer about abstract painting and Rembrandt.
Thank you, Joanna. Sue from Essex, hello.
Hello, James.
Yes, Sue.
What about Michelangelo? I think you can't compare some of this rubbish that's put around today with somebody as clever as Michelangelo.
Yeah, but Neil, you see one of Neil's paintings behind me here.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that is this sort of, I mean, it's such painstaking stuff that Neil does here.
Well,
I mean,
Michelangelo, I mean, they didn't have the type of paints and stuff they've got around now in his day. I mean, imagine laying on your back on a bit of scaffolding, painting that
Careful,
kind of art.
George, careful. Your mind's wandering now, George, yes.
I know. It was wandering. I also wonder, as I often wonder when people go on about Leonardo or Michelangelo, how much they actually feel about them. Is it simply they know the names, they've seen the reproductions, and they feel that must be marvellous because it's by Michelangelo? Do they really feel anything? Do they really feel more about Michelangelo? Some people do. But do people who say the name Michelangelo or the Mona Lisa really feel about them, or are they just going through the motions and doing
They
this
were
straight
marvellous,
work?
they were marvellous, but we've got to live after that, you know? I mean...
Okay, Sue, thank you very much indeed for that. I think that sort of answered it. Now, we did ask a couple of weeks ago, send in your computer art, all right? And somebody called Blimpoid won, and this is their piece of computer art that won this little section. We thought this was very good. We should award a prize. Here it is. Well, there we are. That was kind of... Do you think, Jerry, is that sort of thing, is that art? I mean, somebody spent a long time painting that and then putting it into motion.
I have a difficulty in defining art, period. I mean, I was looking at Neil's paintings before, and I have to tell you, I think they're superb, because I look at those paintings and my reaction is, I wish I could do something like that. I mean, there's tremendous skill in doing it. What we've just seen on the screen, I think one would have to know what sort of software and computers were available before making a judgment.
Okay, well, we thought that was good, and we were going to award you this, but I've decided this is far too precious to me now to give to you, so instead we're going to send you a couple of videos, all right? Now, we also last week, can I do the competition now for last week, do you think? We've got time to fit that in before the football? Okay. We asked you the name of that old, harsh, hard toilet paper you remember so well.
Unfortunately, yes.
Named after a cowboy. The cowboy, of course, was Bronco.
Yes,
and there's an old roll of Bronco, which in itself could become quite a collector's item.
I think so.
In in years to come, and you will get a year's supply of Isle hard medicated toilet paper, which is coming back in a big way. Fashionable.
Second prize, of course, 2 years.
Well, why is it marked plain?
Why is it marked plain?
I mean,
I think it just is. It is plain. I mean, you can undo it, Jerry, if you want to have a little look at it. The winner, though, is a guy from Glasgow, Ian McFadden from Glasgow, because he sent this in. We were talking about art. We thought that was rather nice. That's Glasgow by Night.
Very good.
It's very good, isn't it?
Excellent.
And we think you deserve that.
It is a work of art.
It is indeed. Next week, we have on the programme, as I said, Dogs d'Amour. We will be looking at saving things. I think we should devote the whole programme to saving the whale, but we'll be saving a few other things as well. Is there anything you want to save or not?
Not really.
Nothing that particularly, no.
The sloth, perhaps.
Saving the sloth. Now, that's a new one. Nobody has done saving the sloth before.
Well, I think the sloth is an infinitely splendid creature, and that it does bugger all.
It does, yes, but it's there.
Down, everybody else.
Yeah.
It actually creates mayhem of one sort or another.
What about you?
What would I like to say?
Yeah, save. Anything that you think should be saved, preserved, or...
Trees.
Trees, yes. You do that in your paintings, of course, yes. Jerry?
I'd like to save the British film industry.
You'd like to save the British film industry?
Probably give it £5 million.
Probably give it more taxpayers' money, yes. Or perhaps make stuff people want to go and see would be quite useful. Yeah. Okay, join us next week. And for the meantime, thank you very much indeed for tuning in. I've got to go. We did a little 15... All right, don't talk while I'm going. I'll just, I know when we're finished. Next week, we'll be back on at 1 o'clock at the usual time. Write in with your thoughts on saving things. In the meantime, have a very nice weekend. And from all my guests here tonight live, a very good night to you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, James. More from you.